Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another CAF update. The highlight of the week, right? The best 2 hours in comic art, in our comic art week. So busy schedule today. I'm literally, this is a 2 hour show, and it could be a 2.5 hour show, like the last couple of them have been. So got several guests that are going to pop in at different times. And I've got Larry Toon. He's going to be doing the guest picks tonight. I've got Jeff Wedding. He's going to be dropping by. We're going to be talking about CAF U. As everybody knows, it's been on the back burner for a while, but I want to move it up to the front of my to-do list as quickly as possible, even with all the scheduling things I've got going on. So, hey, Jason and Michael and Rick, nice to see everybody here hanging out as always with me on a Thursday night. So today, though, we're going to start the show off with an old friend. As he said, he's like the OG of many things in my life as it relates to comic art, and that is my longtime friend, Mr. Mark. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Hey, Bill. Oh, it's great to hang out with you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we don't spend enough time together, Mark. That's because we're not going to cons together like we used to all the time.
Well, I'm going to be going back to cons this year, but you're not joining me apparently. So
I don't. Well, I
I
haven't
tried.
I know. Well, maybe. So you are going to San Diego, right?
I'm going to San Diego. Yes, got my hotel booked, so I know I'm going. So we are good for that. But before that, I am going to Lake Como in May in Italy. So I'm obviously excited about that one. Trevor Hairsine, Sean Phillips, and I are going to be joining Steve's show. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's going to be cool. And even Jeff
And
Wedding
that's the one you should be at with us.
You are a rock star. It's true. I'd love to be going to Lake Como. I mean, I've
Jeff.
been invited to a couple of them, and I've never, never could work it out. And I'm sure I can't work it out this year. So maybe next year. I'd like to go. I mean, I haven't seen Steve in a long time, and Tatiana's going there this year. Annabelle from Kirby's Comic Art is going to be there. I've never met her. So lots of people I'd love to get the chance to meet that don't make it out here to the States too often. So one day, but I'm sure you're going to have a great time in that wonderful place.
I'm going to go visit Trevor before the show and go through his treasure trove of artwork that's been sitting around for years. So hopefully I can find some gems in there that we haven't put up on the website. So I'm excited about that as well.
Wow, awesome! So it's always
probably a June
make it even more
release.
Fun for it.
Yep, for sure.
Any upcoming art drops to speak of before we talk about the Bermejo stuff?
Yep. So Sebastian and Max, my identical twin Fiumara brothers, they just shipped me some commissions that we had taken back at the last Comic Art Live show. And so I have some artwork that I will be adding up probably Monday. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow or Saturday, but some cool covers and, interiors, Lucifer stuff. Max has a cool Flash related cover. So I think it's Flash and Batman on it. And there's some Red Sonja related and Deja Thor covers by Sebastian, and then a really big art drop coming probably in a couple weeks from Kano. And Kano is a Spanish artist that I've been repping for a while, but it's rare that I get new art from him. It's every couple years or so, and he's sending me 3 FedEx boxes full of artwork. So that should be a pretty cool drop, I think.
Do you know what's going to be in the boxes?
Well, I've asked for some stuff, but with artists, you never know exactly what's going to arrive.
What's going to be in the
right? Yeah,
that's all right.
It could include everything I asked for or nothing that I asked for, but a lot of other cool things that I know nothing about. So he's been working in the industry for years, so it's just a matter of what he includes. So so hopefully it will be some good stuff.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right. Well, you should do it. You should do one of your an unboxing online. That seems to be the thing these days. Show it off, get everybody excited, and then sell it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I will have to drop out my little, as you can see, my Batman backdrop in order to show you the print because it like becomes one with the image, apparently.
Yes, it does.
So let me see if I have the skills to change my virtual
I
background
thought you were
settings.
hiding a messy room or something behind you, Mark.
That too, for sure. Yeah. So here, but as you can see, it's going to disappear on me. So
yeah, it does. Yeah. Oh, that's much better. So the reason I brought this up last week, letting everybody know that you were doing this this print sale for Bermejo, letting them know that it was happening today through tomorrow morning. But can you want to tell everybody about this and tell us when we're gonna is Lee gonna be doing some traditional work anytime soon? That's like the number one question from everybody in the audience. Whenever we show off Lee's work a lot as popular artwork because everybody loves it, and everybody's sad that they're not. And you might be sad too that he's not bringing it in. But
trust me, there's nobody more sad than me. Okay.
Oh man, that's your collection, by the way, on the side, everybody. Mark Hay has one of the biggest art collections in the United States. All those portfolios to his left are all his own artwork, aren't they, Mark?
No.
Or no.
but lots of guys I work with. I do have a few pieces, but you can't see them because they're up on the walls over here. So as you guys probably know, Lee switched to all digital a couple years ago. And while he has taken on like a commission once a year or a piece here or there, realistically, he's all digital. And, I get it. Lots of my guys have transitioned that way, because it means more of a life. And ultimately, what good is money if you don't have time to spend it, as they always say. So, without originals coming, we both put our heads together and, he wanted to do a print, and I felt like, let's do something special together. Everybody knows what Lee is famous for with how detailed all of his costumes are. And, I was lucky enough to find one of my best friends' partner. She is a partner in a print company, and she's very skilled and came up with this way to do these levels of print in certain sections. So we took this, the spotlight portion of the print, and that is all kind of, I'll do my best to show you guys. But has 3D qualities to it. You can feel it if you move your hand across it. You can tell here on the belts that they stand out against where Batman is. This is a metal print, and so Batman is metallic. You get to see the shine. But this is a print unlike anything I've ever seen. There's lots of 3D qualities that work well with Lee's style. And so we thought this was kind of a perfect solution to try something new for Lee. And we're doing this metal version and then paper version that is more like a high quality print that people are used to, except it's on kind of a metallic paper to work well with Batman coming out of the shadows. But the metal piece is obviously unlike most anything you can imagine. Just the fact that it really shows off what Lee is known for. So hopefully some of you guys can have one for yourselves to see exactly what it looks like in person. So if you're a fan of Lee's work, and obviously he is known for his Batman work, then this is a great starting point to get something that, if it was an original these days, it'd be more than $15,000 probably. So, and that's pencil and ink. So, but unfortunately we won't see that, but you will have an opportunity to get something else very cool to put on your walls. And that's being metal.
It's available. Is it available through tomorrow, or what's the deadline on that?
Yep. So we've had a decent amount of activity, and unless things change, we are still targeting 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow as the 24-hour window. So I will be waking up early to talk to Lee to see where we're at with things. But as of right now, that looks like the time frame. We are, we will have a limited number of these. It's the print run is not going to be big. So it's going to be something that should be unlike a lot of other prints where they're mass produced. This is going to be very small print run, and then the metal prints are going to be have a certificate of authenticity that is signed and hand numbered, so you'll know the print run when you get your piece. And we're also inserting some sketchbooks and some small remark drawings in a couple of the pieces. So they're going to be randomly put in the first 25, and you'll have a shot at maybe getting a little original sketch to go along with your very cool metal print.
Very nice, very nice. Well, if we can't get originals by Lee, that's about what we're going to get, right, for the time being. So so the way to get these, I know, is through your website on your main splashpageart.com website. There's a link for prints up in the top menu that takes you over to the other site, which I've got written down right here, splashpageprints.com, and you can pick up either of those prints from that location.
Yep. And I am very lucky man to have a girlfriend who is a very talented web designer, and so she created this web page that's a standalone, splashpageprints.com, and it's fully functional as far as being able to purchase an item and check out through credit card, which obviously Splash Page Art has been around the block for quite a while, and we don't have that functionality. I blame Bill. And who knows? Eventually, maybe I'll be able to add that to Splash Page Art. But Splash Page Prints, you can check out through credit card. No muss, no fuss. Check on it. Buy a paper print, buy a metal print, and as soon as I get the print run figured out and Lee hand signs all the certificate of authenticities, then I will be mailing out that artwork, so the print. So hopefully we'll start shipping in a couple weeks.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
I put in there 4 to 6 weeks to give me a little leeway. So, as an art dealer, you're used to shipping out, maybe half a dozen pieces a day, or sometimes 15, 20. But, for doing a print run that is larger than that for prints, I need a little time, since I am a bit of a one-man show. I have comic book staff. I own a comic book shop too, as some of you know. So I've got some help there, but yeah, it will be different than shipping a handful of masonite out for art.
Well, it's a new endeavor for you, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing, we've seen a lot of different stuff going on with with artists switching to digital over the years, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more creativity and interesting things that other reps and artists decide to experiment with over the years. So, I mean, I think this is going to become more and more commonplace, experimental wise, and I think we're all just going to, as art collectors, we're, those who are open to doing it will do it, and but it opens you up to a different market too at the end of the day. So I think that's it's a wise thing to do, and Lee needs to get some stuff out there one way or another. Even if this is what we can get, then this is what you got to do.
Yep, and we'll see where that leads us. I've been kicking around the mono print type idea, so we haven't quite decided on that, but that's something that obviously we have access to a great printer and COAs, and so it might be something that either Lee and I, or myself and some of my other artists who have switched digitally try to do in the near future. So, but for now, we're trying this endeavor, and I think it turned out fantastic. So hopefully you guys will agree.
Yep. All right. Well, keep me in the loop. If there's anything I can help PR for you in the future, you let me know, and I'll let you know about San Diego. I don't know if that's if it's in the cards this year or not. I have a feeling I'm going to end up having to miss because I think that's about the time I'm going to be moving from Ohio to Florida on the permanent move, is sometime right in the middle of July. Trust me, I'd like to get down there in April or May. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just save me a space on the floor.
I will save you a chair in our table space. So I'll put a little sign. Bill Cox should be here. So.
Well, then I have to show up at least one day.
Right.
All right, Mark. Well, listen, man, it's good to see you. And like we talked about in the green room earlier, I should have you on a little bit more regularly. So we'll have to correct that. And I know you probably won't be able to participate in Comic Art Live like you have in the show in May, because you're coming back from Como, so you'll probably be a bit wiped out. But obviously, if you want a panel of any kind, that we'll have space for you.
Great. Obviously I've been doing it since show 1, and I would love to be able to do it. We'll just have to see, because I think I'm coming back the day before the show. So it's just a matter of what I can get worked out prior, and then maybe just hang in there for, those hours each day, and then die for a week afterwards. So we'll see.
Like I told you and everybody else, they should know this too, that we will open booth management at least 30 days prior to the show starting. So maybe this time around, maybe even a little bit earlier, 40 days out. So that should give everybody plenty of time to get their booths prepped and not wait to the last minute to be adding their art for sale. So that's we've been talking a lot about this May show as being the one that we're going to be putting a lot more effort into, and some good changes to it. But making it the access to your booth set up earlier was one of the things on our list. So I'll definitely be sending out emails pretty soon on that. Yeah, exactly. So that'll help you out, I know, because of you being gone 2 weeks prior to the show. So
yep, sounds great.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be talking soon. Yep.
Cool.
Good night, Mark.
I might kick around in the background and troll you guys. So
you can do that. You can do that. Just only say nice comments, please.
All right.
All right. So let's see. Mark's a good guy. He and I were talking. I mean, he's like one of the dealer I bought my first artwork from. Not first artwork, but the first like mail order artwork I did was through him, and I picked it up at MegaCon, I believe. So that, and he took me to San Diego for my first time there, and made us all T-shirts. So there's a T-shirt with big splash page art logo on the front and a little Comic Art Fans logo on the back. So, but I still love that shirt, Mark, and I still have it. And he's sitting in the green room watching me. So, let's see. So, a couple things. I mean, Jeff's already in the green room, but I've got a couple things I want to get out of the way first. I really had a long list, but we'll do that after I bring Jeff on here. But I wanted to do my mailbag, like we always try to do early on in the show. Now I actually have a couple things. So, first thing I'm going to play is a little video clip, because I had to do a mailbag 2 days ago for a special reason. And so I'm just going to show you the video clip from that, and then you'll understand why I had to open it ahead of the show. Hey, how's it going, everybody? As you know, I typically like to leave my unboxings to Thursday night, but I believe what's in this box needs to be opened and then sent back to the sender before Thursday night. So I'm going to open it up now, record it, and we're going to all have a look at this great unboxing. See what's inside, because I think I know what it is. Look what we have here, the actual comic. Wow, beautiful. And on the other side, let's see. Those of you getting at CGC, you want to be careful with that. Look at that. But it's hard to catch without the glare. There we go. Perfect. All right. There is the first comic with me on it. Pretty good likeness, I'd say. What do you think? Ken Hazer did a great job. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. All right. Well, it looks like I've got some work to do here. I have to break out these markers and get started. That's right. I'm famous, Fish. Thank you so much. That's true. So yeah, I got the Vampirella books in, and they are signed, and they're going to get picked up tomorrow and shipped back to Dynamite. So thank you, Nick Baruchi, for getting that done for me. I appreciate it, and for cheering everybody on to get some more likes onto the show tonight. Next up, I've got a package from Anthony Snyder. I have, once again, I don't know. I don't think it's a T-shirt like the last one, so we'll see what this one is. I don't know why he likes sending me stuff. I don't get it, but I'm not going to complain. Let's see here. It's full of comic books. I don't know why. No note again from Anthony, right? No. He just sends me stuff. Oh, they're Evil Dead comic books. Well, there you go. See, Anthony's always thinking about me. So what do we got? We got some Evil Dead, Cradle of the Damned. There you go. Plenty of good reading for Maureen and I. And so there you go. Evil Dead comics. And that's always appreciated. But one other thing I got this week that wasn't in the mail, but it relates to my experience over the weekend, which was at the Marvel exhibit. As everybody knows, I think I told you that Ben Saunders, who curated the Marvel exhibit, he came into town to go over some stuff at Berkey's house and look at some art from Romita Sr. And I can't talk about what they're going to use it for, because I thought it was going to be for the Marvel exhibit in Columbus, but apparently they're planning something else, and it's not finalized yet with Marvel, so it's not something that we can discuss. But so they were looking at that, and the next morning when we were going to drive to Columbus, we got there, and Mike was like, "Hey, I want to give all three of you," because Patrick Reed was with us. He was also one of the curators of the show. Mike's like, "I want to give everybody a piece of Romita Senior art." Because, I've never owned a piece of Romita Senior art, and I don't think Ben or Patrick had either. So Mike had pulled together like a dozen. They're mostly prelims, and there was actually a Wolverine thing. Jason, you would have liked that. But I didn't take that one because I decided to pick up something that was, I thought was a little bit cooler. I can pull it out of the bag so it looks a little better. But there, this prelim. Now, Mike didn't know what it was. He's like, I think it's something from Star Trek, which of course, it's not Star Trek. Clearly it's not. So I did some digging around, and unless anybody else thinks it's not what I think it is, let's see here. Where is my graphic here? Right here. So show it off like that. Like, it's pretty close to that. That was a Romita Senior cover, and so it's opposite, of course, and it's drawn on vellum, but it's pretty close. Looks like he didn't know what the monster was supposed to look like ahead of time, but outside of that, it's pretty close to that. So Thongor, Creatures on the Loose cover prelim, unless again somebody says it's something different. So I'd be happy if you told me what it was. But both the other guys, they got to pick first. Ben got a really nice pair of I'm not going to say from what book, but page prelims, layouts and everything. They were really, really nice. And Patrick definitely got a cover prelim too. That weird super football cover, the guy was flying above a stadium, so he got that, and that was pretty cool. So that's mine, and I'm very happy with that. Mike, I don't think Mike has ever actually given me anything before, so that was a rare thing. But he had a good time the night before when we were looking at art. If you follow me on Facebook, you saw the stuff that we were looking at. We were basically pulling out Mike's entire Romita Senior Amazing Spider-Man collection, which he has about 300 pages. So couple complete books and whatnot. So I was showing off the artwork from that, and he owns probably almost all the Sundays that Romita Senior did. So we were looking at those too. But yes, exactly, it's a classic, Mr. Red Jack. So that was my weekend. And just to show off a couple pictures, I was not able to pull together everything that we did, but as you know, we went to the Marvel exhibit with Ben and Patrick, and we met Dinesh there. So I just threw a couple photos in from that. I'll do a proper report on that next week. But everybody's seen the thing that everybody gets their pictures with. I got at that moment, you can see Silver Surfer was flying in the background, so I got that one. Here's Mike. I told him he had a pose, and I was going to make Anthony get in the same pose on the other side, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it looks just right there with Berkey by himself. And what else did I throw in here? Oh, then here's Dinesh and I hanging out in front of a Black Panther statue. So Dinesh was a lot of fun. The other thing on the left was there was like this create a comic book cover type of thing. So we crammed into into it and got our photos taken together. And it kind of, my brow is more furrowed than that Punisher piece by Zek last night, isn't it? So I don't know why I look like I'm in distress in some way in that image, but it was a lot of fun. Dinesh was cool. We went out to dinner after the show, and had a really good time. He's a pretty funny guy, high energy, just like you expect out of him. And let's see. David Wenzel wants to know if Mike owns the Spidey 50 cover. He used to own it. He does not any longer. Yeah, my second cover, Christopher. That's true. Can you have the Wolverine? It was one of those. It was from some Marvel book, so it was really just Wolverine from about here down with the claws out. So it was cool, but I picked up the sketch instead. So I just thought it was more, just cool to have something penciled by Romita Sr. So yeah, I look like a college professor. I did. It was the scarf. I was trying to look smart that day. I didn't want to. I'm standing next to a. Well, remember, Ben Saunders is a college professor, so hanging out with him, I had to like level up a bit to hang out with him. But it was a good time. Ben was. I never. We had that chat with Ben about a year ago when Glenn brought him on to the Comic Art Live channel for that. But I hadn't spoken to him since then. But he's a really great guy. And I should let everybody know, we talked about, remember, we've been wanting to do some kind of an art get together at that Marvel exhibit in Columbus before it leaves the end of summer. And I talked with Ben about it. And because of his schedule, he said, he's got a lot of things leading up to San Diego. I guess there's some kind of exhibits that he's working on for that. So he asked if I was going to do a art get together, that we would do it in August. So the weather will be better, and the show is there through the end of August. So I'm going to get, I'm going to call him probably next week, and we'll start figuring out which weekend in August will work good for him. And as soon as I have that figured out, I'll let everybody know, and we can try to get together there and try to visit the Billy Ireland Museum at the same weekend, if that's possible as well. So a little bit of coordinating, but that's what's going to work best for him. I was thinking we'd do it in the spring, but Ben would like to be a part of it. And sorry, just reading through the chat, but at any rate, so August is what I'm looking at now for the Marvel exhibit in Columbus. So plan accordingly, and I will keep everybody updated on that. So geez, we're already at the half-hour mark, and you know what? I can show you one other thing. The Marcus was at the San Francisco Comic Art Con that Bashar put together. He only gave me a 20-second clip of video from that show, and showing off the Mike Mignola line. So I can show that, and then I will move on to the next bit of stuff. So where is that? Oh, here it is. Was that John Higashi? Did you see that? John needs to get a haircut. I thought I had long hair. My goodness. And why is John not the first one in line? I don't understand that either. I'm going to have to send him a text and find out. He's losing his mojo if he's not at the front of the line. So thank you, Marcus, as always, for sending me anything. Any kind of clips are good. Everybody should know that. Send me clips. So there were a lot of photographs I know that were posted on Facebook right after the show, and certainly there were a lot of art was posted to CAF after the show as well. So it sounded like it was a good time. Yes, the Godfather Higashi, exactly. He has been around the block, but yeah, I was shocked. I actually had to go back and play the video a couple times and just stop on it to actually see if that was John, and it was. So I'm used to him looking like the very professional looking guy that I'm used to seeing. So that was definitely a little bit different. He had a big breakfast, so it slowed him down. Not usually John. John's usually there 3 or 4 hours before the doors open on most shows. At least he used to. That was the reputation he got. He was always well prepared. He was second, Marcus says. All right, well then why wasn't he first in that line? I don't get it. But and you were third. I saw that Marcus posted some good pictures of the show on his CAF too. And for anyone who didn't check out Marcus's gallery this week, you definitely should. So some good picks there. And I know, Marcus, you asked me to ask Ian about seeing if he had any clips or photos. I forgot. So I'll shoot him an email and see if I can't get anything from him as well, and maybe put that into a con report for next weekend as well, or next show, next Thursday. So we're at the halfway mark here, or half hour mark, I should say, not the halfway mark. We know we got a long show here, but I told Jeff that I wanted to bring him in. Jeff Wedding is in the green room. We have, as you know, everything got so crazy for me beginning in December and January that I kind of put the whole CAF University project on the back burner. And Jeff and I had actually filmed a couple segments early on for like the intro, and then a kind of a preservation kind of, primer to the hobby, what you should do to, at the very least, protect the artwork that you get. And that's where it's at. And I really just kind of dusted off the video clips that I had this past weekend just to look them over. And boy, I'm going to bring Jeff on and we can talk about it. Here we go. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
All right. How's it going, Bill?
Oh, it's going good, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in 3 or 4 months, at least on camera. We haven't gotten to commiserate in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And, you just said that you were hanging out with a professor and you had to dress up. Well, let me remind you, you're chancellor of CAF. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I should be looking the part every single day, right? I don't know.
Maybe so.
Oh man, but yeah, it was a really good time. And Ben was, I don't know if you've ever emailed with Ben before, but he's super knowledgeable. I could have him on a show like once a month, and he would be fun to chat with. So he's really enjoying the fact that he's been able to he did an EC exhibit about 4 or 5 years ago, and then he got to do this one. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing around San Diego during the show, but he's got some stuff that they're asking him to do for that, curation wise. And so he's really enjoying it. I mean, he enjoys being a college professor teaching comic art and comic book history, but he's really digging being able to just go out and do these experimental things and curate exhibitions. And I think that's pretty cool. That was really cool.
We totally need to get him to do a segment. So
I agree. So back to CAF U. Like I said to everybody, I have let it slide a little bit, and it's very unfortunate. I wish I wouldn't have done that, but
I think it's actually going to work to our benefit.
I think so too.
We're shooting from the hip and have no idea what we're really doing, other than sort of a direction we want to go. And I think by attempting something and then having some time to review it and reflect on it, we're going to actually be able to jump in on this again once we've got the time set aside, right, and probably be a little more focused than we were the first time. So,
no, I agree. And like I actually watched the whole hour that we shot, and yeah, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I would do today. I feel like in 4 months, I see all the faults that I had going into it, and now I know really, but I have a better idea of what I'd like to do. So that's probably for the best. And I know that you would, after you wanted to reshoot some things as well, or take photographs. You had a whole concept laid out how you were going to photograph the bags so that we could,
particularly the different type of bags and the materials they're made out of. I think we could have definitely featured that better with some video. So I think as we get this thing rolling, I think it's going to come together. So
I agree. And we shouldn't make it wait too much longer. I feel like I've got one big project I'm wrapping up right now, and then after that, I feel like, and it's only going to take me about 10 days to get that behind me. But after that, we got to get like the first 3 shows in the can.
Once you get done with your 5-day-a-week schedule, the golf course has been sold, the house has been purchased, the move is lined up.
It's all right there. That's just it. The golf course is going to be gone next week. The other, I'm really close. That's why I say 10 days. I feel like 10 days I'm going to be there, and then we just got to do it. I mean, I think we should do it show by show. Yeah. So as long as you're free, I mean, I know we're gonna have to do it on the weekends, but I want to get it done. I feel very strongly about this. I think it's going to be a great asset to the hobby, to new collectors in particular, but old collectors as well. So. It's got to be high on our list. But I did go ahead and I was like, I've been wanting to do something, take the CAF U logo and at least make some kind of intro for it and test out some different things. So I put together that, and then I threw in the first minute or so from the from like episode 2 that we filmed, and you'll see you'll be able to see the things that need to be fixed on it, immediately. Like I said, I didn't introduce you. I just kind of took it for granted that, oh, everybody's going to know who Jeff is. But when we're talking about something like that, it would have been better to just say, and this is Jeff Wedding, and this is and he's here because to tell us a bit about yourself. So I totally blew it, but I'll show the initial minute clip of that, and then we can talk a little bit more about CAFU. So let me where is that one? That is right here. We're going to talk about the basics of comic art collecting, and really, I think a great place to start is for the person who's picked up their first piece of original comic art. Maybe they were at a con and they stepped up to an artist table and they got a con sketch from someone, or they picked up a page from that artist. Or maybe even went to a comic shop and there was an artist there doing signings, and you got to pick up a sketch there as well. Typically, when you're getting art directly from an artist, you're not going to get a bag or any kind of protection for that artwork to take it home, much less to store it once you get it home. So when we think about the basics of original comic art collecting, and we're thinking about that first buy that you've got, what would be the first thing that you would want to let them know about that piece of art to make sure that they're taking care of it properly, getting it home properly, and then storing it properly as they begin their adventure into comic art collecting?
Right. So certainly if you pick up something at a show, or even if you get your first purchase off of eBay and you have something shipped, it's probably not going to ship in long-term archival storage packaging. And the first thing to remember is that's okay.
Hey, Jeff. Happy belated birthday, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the thing that I noticed most from that video is how gray this is starting to turn.
We've all grown a little bit in these last 3 or 4 months, but I've got a couple special guests here in the studio with me today.
Holy cow.
Jeff Wedding.
Look at that. We've got Grogu and Down Low Kylo. Surprise, surprise.
I was relaxing.
What have you got to say for yourself, Kylo?
I had a vision. Jeff, you opened your birthday present. I saw you, Jeff, standing there with the birthday present. Open.
Jeff, you got a package?
I do believe I have a package sitting here.
Yeah.
It's opened. He opened it. I had a moment of weakness, and I told him to open it.
Well, I don't know. I got 2 packages, so
Perhaps someone else.
perhaps I should open the second one.
All right. Who's the second one from?
So one I believe was from Kylo, and the other was from perhaps Grogu, because it was the way.
That imp is trouble.
So yeah, Jeff. You know, we don't do a show on Mondays, and I know it was your birthday on Monday. So I tried to wish you a happy birthday then, but it just seemed very fitting to do that tonight.
Well, at first there is a lot of packing peanuts. So
Typical environmentally unsound. The empire will rectify this waste.
So Legos, which you can never go wrong with.
Can you get any more narcissistic?
Well, that's a great gift.
It is.
Yeah.
And I do have some more in here with a lot of heavy duty packaging inside of the mini packing peanuts.
Well, we're all excited to see what's in there. Packing peanuts came from Comic Link, Larry says. Yeah, and his Christopher Daly, download Kylo hanging with.
So there's art of Art Adams' X-Men book.
Ah, very nice. I think I just saw a picture of that from. Oh, and I should say that those photographs from the clip were all taken by Marcus Way. So I think you have a clue as to who sent you that.
That's right. And the sketchy characters, the artwork of a foreign name that I'm going to butcher. Juanjo Guarnido.
Juanjo.
There. Try to get the glare on.
Guarnido.
And then there is a sketch that is totally going to glare out.
Oh my. Cool.
With a initials of VM. So I will have to look this one up because it's not a Star Wars cast.
Vader's mistress.
Vach Pavilion, I think, or I could be wrong. Well, that's awesome.
It is. Holy smokes. It's another box of goodies.
Well,
and I should also mention,
second birthday.
You know, your first guest, Mark Hay, was at the center of a household controversy involving him and my wife and Kavi. But that might be a story for another day.
Oh, shoot. I should have brought you on camera when Mark was here then. Oh, and Aranga said Val Merrick. That's possible too.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
One or the other. So
okay.
What's that? So what else you got?
So my wife just snuck in.
Hey.
Everyone say hello to Stacy.
Hi.
Hi, Stacy.
And
Nice
she
to
has
meet you.
dropped another bag at my feet. Clearly an ambush.
We've lost
There's
Download
tissue
Kylo.
paper.
The Grogu's still hanging out. Oh, there he.
It's lovely to meet you.
And then there's another package.
Man. I hope you got a few gifts on your birthday too, I imagine, Jeff, right?
I did. I opened a lovely bounty hunter sketch from Kylo that is actually sitting on my desk at work waiting to be scanned so I can get it uploaded this weekend.
Very nice.
It was
That's
the
true.
least the first order could do.
This is an unboxing show.
It is.
We should have just started with you.
And apparently everybody ships like Marcus, and it's like breaking into a vault.
Try a lightsaber.
If only I had a hilt handy.
Use the Force.
Oh my goodness! And then there is a Howard Chaykin Luke Skywalker.
Wow, I think I've
So,
seen that before.
great, hello, great googly muggly. Oh my! So
Well, the force is strong in many around you, Jeff. So
well, that I was aware. So I am truly blessed.
well, I'm very pleased that ended up in your collection.
Well,
Remember the,
thank you to everybody. And just I'll do the quick version of the story. So Stacy had emailed Mark about a page for me for Christmas, and it went into her spam folder, his reply. And so I guess he finally got a hold of him closer to New Year's, but went ahead and made the purchase for the page and saved it for Valentine's Day. And it showed up, in typical Mark Hay Masonite packaging within a day of a same shaped, sized package from Mark that had come via Kavi. And Stacy said that if, Kavi upstaged me on Valentine's Day, he was going to totally go in the toilet. And I pointed out that all Star Wars artwork is like snowflakes, and no two are alike, and things smoothed over very quickly. So
very good, very good. Yeah, and I should say that Chaykin piece, Nick Baruchi played a hand in that as well. So it was.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, he helped facilitate that and that's how it ended up with you. So I'm so thrilled that we were able to make that work out for you. But Grogu's been awfully quiet, very animated, of course, but very quiet. I haven't seen anything.
Jeff, do you know how old I am?
No.
We're both 50.
Yes.
Jeff, did you know that?
I don't know that I actually knew that.
It's true. Happy
So
birthday,
lucky
brother.
me.
Brothers from another mother.
I've got people talking at me from behind the couch.
Hi, Stacy.
Marcus says hi.
Hey, Marcus.
Bye. Happy birthday. Bye.
Goodbye, Jeff Wedding. You are an integral part of our effort to make this galaxy a safer place. And we will not.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Kylo.
Hi.
Oh man, that was Mr. Wingo. You didn't recognize his Shure microphone right up there. So that was actually Scott hiding behind Grogu.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, well, my apologies.
No. Well, it was a secret. He was in disguise.
It worked well because he looked just like Grogu.
He did. So Jeff, you've been such a you've helped me out through a whole bunch of stuff this past we could say 4 or 5 months. So I'm so glad that your birthday rolled around and we were able to get you on the show and do some good stuff here for you too, because birthdays are special, and I know that this was a special one for you. And when I turned that age, there was a bit of joy and a bit of sorrow at the same time. But 50's okay. It's like 50's the new 35.
That's right. Because I certainly don't feel 50. So
no, exactly.
No. But as I said, looking at the video and the gray beard that's starting to come in, that's the reminder.
I'll tell you, that's why I keep mine trimmed really short, because when it's shorter, it kind of looks darker. It really needs to get a little taken back there a little bit. But that's
where most of the hair that I can still grow is. So,
well, I'm actually getting there. I think maybe in about 4 or 5 years, I'm going to look like Ben Franklin. Seriously, I'll have like this big bald patch here, and the long hair will be coming down. But it's starting. The thinning has
begun. Getting under the Billigan hat, so it'll be fine.
That's right. That's where everybody likes bald Billigan. Exactly. Yeah. So there you go. Grogu Wingo equals Gringo.
Perfect.
Very sharp. So,
well, thank you to everybody.
Yeah, no. Hey, I wish I could have had music or something playing. We should have had party hats. I didn't think it through enough, but no, it's this is I really did want to have you on about CAFU stuff too, but it was a good opportunity to also have your birthday party here. So and again, you've been a huge asset to the channel. Jeff. I mean, really, and I'm looking forward to working with you on the CAFU stuff, and I really mean it. Where I feel like in 2 weeks we just we should reshoot the stuff that we started with, and then really just get it out there as quickly as we can. So at least I'd like to think by April, May, we should be able to have a couple of them out there. And if they're great, and if they're average, well, we'll always be doing better on those.
We'll be able to redo them.
Exactly.
Right.
So, all right. Well, it's been fun having you on as always. And like I passed over a ton of birthday wishes. I'm sure you could scroll back through and see them all. But yes, everybody was. Marcus wanted to know if there was any leftover cake, but probably not.
No, I think we took care of that. So.
Oh man. Well,
as for those who hadn't heard, Monday was also my wife's birthday.
I did find that out because that was actually I didn't realize it. I think I saw that on Facebook it was mentioned that it was you both share the same birthday. That's pretty incredible.
Yep. So if I have any advice for any of you who are out there looking for a spouse right now, check driver's license and find someone with the same birthday, because you'll never forget. It's the easiest thing in the world.
That's true. Maureen's birthday is 4 days ahead of mine, so I tried. I was working it, but because it's 4 days, it's easy for me to remember it all the time as well. So,
well, Stacy is over there reminding me she is 4 years younger. So,
well, Maureen's 4 years older than I am. She's not watching, but yeah. So you're right though. That's a good way to go about it. You will never forget. So Stacy, thank you for all of because Stacy, she's the ringleader here too. She was the one. She might not tell you that, but the moment she said something, I was like, that we can make this work out. Because I had a feeling. Remember when because just so everybody knows, Jeff being the big Star Wars fan and everything. When Howard sent me stuff, I really didn't know some of the pricing and just wanted to get his opinion on stuff. So he had seen that Chaikin piece before it went on sale, and he didn't tell me that he liked it or anything, but I had a feeling he probably would have liked it, and it just worked out. And what happened was Mr. Baruchi actually bought it. I didn't know that because I never know who buys anything, and it just accidentally in the emails between the people who were shipping and everybody else, Nick was the one who had it. And I said, Nick, I'm going to buy that. Can I buy that from you? Do me a favor. I know I owe you lots of favors, but do me another favor and let me get that artwork from you. And so Nick was very gracious and said, I'll get the next one. So,
well, that was absolutely superb for all of you that were involved. Truly touched by the giant pile of swag that came my way for this birthday.
Well, it's our pleasure, Jeff, and you're going to reward us for years to come as well. So it's the least we could all do. So thank you very much, and again, happy birthday. And I'll be in touch. I'm going to give me a few days. Like I said, give me till the weekend after next, and we're going to get this thing rolling again.
Sounds good. And I also going to give a shout out to Ruben because he's also the T-shirt guy. So. Wow. Because he sent some Star Wars T-shirts my way. So,
oh, cool!
It has been across the board a heck of a week of gift receiving. So,
good.
Thanks to everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad. Ruben's a great guy, absolutely, and he's an important person in the hobby who's taking care of a lot of people as well. So, thank you, Jeff, and again, happy birthday, and we'll be talking soon.
Well, thank you, Bill, and thanks again to all of you out there in Comic Art Land.
All right, see you soon, Jeff. All right, now see, I saw somebody. I can't, we can't do this for everybody's birthday, but we will endeavor to try to always do something fun when we know it is your birthday. So just keep that in mind. And yep, we broke 50 likes too. We should be able to get closer to 60 likes before the end of the show. And Marcus gives us the dolphin as he always does. So Jeff's been awesome. I mean, both on the shows and privately, he's just been really, he's just a great guy, and he's really giving of himself to put together the CAFU videos with me. And he's an important person in the hobby, just like all of you are. So for the participation that we've had in the last 2 years doing these shows, and it just shows how giving everybody is in the hobby. So and as Ian just said, Big 50 is important, definitely. So, and I don't have a giveaway tonight. I'm sorry. I got to get back on that train of thought with doing giveaways. It won't be tonight, but probably next week I can get started again. My credit card bill was really high after giving out all those shirts, so I needed a couple weeks off. But we'll definitely get back to giving away a few t-shirts again next week. So I've got a couple more things to go over before I bring Larry on and I do the CAF update sort of stuff, because like I said, there was a lot of ground that I needed to get covered before I get to that. So I wanted to go over the upcoming chat schedule, because like I told you before, I've been really working hard on it. Look at the font's shrinking now because I've got way too many things coming up on the schedule, but it's all good stuff too. So tomorrow, if you can believe it or not, I'm actually doing a 1 p.m. live stream, and I don't expect anybody to tune in. And that's not really, I do expect some people to tune in for it, but Chuck Costas is down at the Ringling School of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida, and he was the one who put together the Mike Zeck exhibit, and he also had a hand in the Marvel exhibit as well as one of the creative consultants on that, as far as like the art selection and things. But Chuck put most of the art together for this Mike Zeck exhibit, and they flew him down for I believe there's a get together tomorrow evening, and so Chuck was going to do a live kind of broadcast with me at 1 p.m. tomorrow, because that's when he can get in the museum and have not a lot of people milling about while we're doing that. So he shot some video tonight or this afternoon. So we'll show some video and show some walkthrough of the Mike Zeck exhibit tomorrow. And then I'll talk with Chuck about a few things that he's got going on. He's very busy with prop store stuff. So, it will probably be about a 2-hour conversation, but we'll talk a lot about Zeck, some of the things related to that big sale that everybody's always is still talking about. And but that'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then next week I've got Eric Wenger on, and I've got Micah on. I've got a Hakes preview. Sean Gordon Murphy, the big one. I know a lot of people are waiting for that one. That's on March 15th. Then we've got the X-Men Artist Chat with Jason and Larry on the 21st. Let's see what other notables on there. I've got that fun Dino and Nick Baruchi show at the end of March. I've got a Heritage Signature Auction preview that I'll do with Joe and Nadia on the 4th of April. We got Gene Park. Finally, I've got Gene Park. He will be on the show Tuesday, April 5th. Can't wait to talk with Gene. And Mick Patera, amazing art collection and artist, of course. He'll be on the show on April 19th. And I'll have Joe and Nadia back for part 2. So that's going to be a fun show. And then Frank Lanza, who I know David has been asking about for ages, that I get Frank Lanza on the show. So Frank will be on the show on May 10th. So you can see I've got 2 months full of chats. And that's just the chat side of everything, because I've got a lot of different sales coming up. Of course, the next big one will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. with Dennis Cohen. And I've got his art list and everything finally finalized. And so he's bringing about 2/3 of the material is published work. He has it's DC published work too. Five pages from 2 different books. One because apparently he typically does things like pencils aboard and inks aboard. So one of the titles, I've got the pencils and the inks, and then the other title I've just got the pencils because it was inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. So there's that. And then I believe we actually might have another 10 pieces, believe it or not. I'll have to double check the list, but he did do some special pieces for the sale. And then there's a few other published pieces as well. And then the other interesting sale I've got coming up, of course, is the Amateur Dueling Dealers Show on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Comic Art Live channel. You've got Matt Kennedy going up against Jordan Joanno. I mean, it's going to be a fight like no other. And we're working on the memes right now. I'm waiting on Jordan's memes, but I've got all of Matt Kennedy's memes already, because he is a busy guy this weekend. So he gave me everything in advance. And I'm working on some stuff with Maureen and Gwen as well, because I picked up a costume to kind of play around and have a little bit of fun with it. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and let's see what else. So what do I got there? I've got that, but the schedule overall for the sales show. So those the first 2 are in there. We'll have we talked last night about changing the Dueling Dealers show because of Wednesday being the Comic Link featured auction ending on Wednesday night, which it normally doesn't do. So after the show, Mike and Anthony and I talked about it, and we decided that we were going to move the show to that Saturday rather than compete with Comic Link, because being a big featured auction like that, I think we it wouldn't make for a good show. So we're going to move it to Saturday at 2. Let the Europeans have a crack at it. We haven't done that in a long time, so just wanted to make everybody aware of that. There will be no show on the channel on Wednesday night next week. And then have next Comic Art on 3/28 with, I believe, 3 or 4 of his artists as well. And then I've got, we got on the 18th, we've got Nick Baruchi versus Jordan on a $500 and under show. Joe Linsner on, what is that? That's going to be on Saturday the 30th. And then I've got Harvey Tolabau from Next Comic Art on May 2nd. And that would be on a Monday. He's going to be bringing some Star Wars art because, of course, that's May the 4th week. And May the 4th does fall on a Wednesday. So you might start thinking about you might not have to guess what our next theme show will be centered around. But I'm sure all of you can imagine what will be happening on May the 4th and that Dueling Dealers episode. So we're deep in the writing process of that show right now, but it'll be a classic, I believe, at the end of things. So that's that. And, I could go over all the cons and stuff that are coming up, but I'm the Wicked Comic Con for in Boston. Comic Art Con's got their regular one coming up. Lake Como, we've already talked about today. I'll be at MegaCon. I'll be doing a panel on Friday. And then, of course, I'll show ours because May 21st and 22nd, of course, is the next Comic Art Live. So that's the one we're all anticipating almost as much as we're anticipating the Hero Show. Of course, everybody should be going to that one if you can. In Charlotte, North Carolina, June 24th to the 26th. There's going to be at least 50 or 60 art collectors. We're going to have a good time. There'll be a get together the night before the show. And I've actually got a lot of people who emailing me that they're going, and I know that they're not in the Facebook chat group that we're all in sharing stuff. But lots of people want to be be kept up to date on when and where we're doing the Thursday get together. So I've been letting them know. I've been making a little list of who's been emailing me so I can keep them up to date and let them know where we're going to be doing all these things. So yeah. So sorry. International Women's Day. Yes, Marcus, exactly. That's kind of what we were thinking about, or at least what Jiggy was thinking about when he was trying to put together that show. Women's Month. Do tell. That's right, Jill. So all right. So what do we got there? So like I say, very, very busy month. But before we get into the update, because I screwed it up last week and almost forgot to do it, I'm going to show Nick Baruchi's EXP promo for tomorrow. And Nick always has his show at 7 p.m. every Friday evening, 7 to 8 p.m. I was on there last week showing off some art and hanging out with Nick, and it was a good show as always. But I've got his promo for tomorrow, and I'm going to cue that up right now.
Hey everybody, we picked some really cool art. Amy worked with me. She actually did most of the picking this week because I've been slammed, but she knows what I like. So let's just get right into it, because on the Experience Friday at 7 p.m., look at this, I'm double branding, we will be with Howard Porter, and this is the most beautiful, the most incredible Howard Porter page we've ever offered. It is a beautiful double page spread, and hopefully nobody buys it because I want to keep it. But if you do buy it, it is there. Warbound we have by Leonard Kirk. We also have Fantastic Four by Ron Garney. Look at these beautiful pure pencils. Then we have Tom Rainey, Search for Cyclops. We have Green Lantern Aliens. This is never going to happen again. Check out this original art by Rick Leonardi, a true legend. I can never put these back well. Then we have Tom Grummett and Danny Mickey. A little bit of Justice League 51. Now, Amy decided that she loved both these Bagley pieces. One, because First Host is full of action, but also life story was very somber, and she found that even though it's just emotionally gratifying. But we also have our commission cover art, Darth Maul, Jay Lee Batman. Check out Captain Harlock, Transformers G.I. Joe, and it's two pieces that go in one. You got to tune in Friday to see the other. And Justice League #1, all Ken Hazer commission cover art. with the exception of Jay Lee. So that's this Friday, March 4th. Join us for a great original art show. And before you go, please hit that thumbs up and share. Sharing is caring. Thank you very much. See you Friday, 7 p.m., only on The Experience.
All right, so there you go. Don't miss it. He always has a good show. He's actually got a better way to do giveaways than I do. I got to find out what program they're using, because they'd asked me about it, and I referenced that Battissimo program that we use, and they found something that was even slicker than what I'm using. So yeah, it's definitely a good show, and he always gives something away. Has a lot of fun. Usually does some kind of an auction format in there as well for a piece. So Nick keeps it lively during his shows. No, hey, my pleasure, Nick. You know it. Put me on the schedule 3 or 4 weeks out. I'll do another one. I had a good time last week. It was especially fun doing it from Berkey's house too, right? Where I was able to grab some artwork from behind the table and show off some stuff that he had laying around. But yeah, the Porter DPS was very nice, Chris. I would agree. All right, so why don't we get this CAF update started? I can't believe I've been able to keep things on schedule tonight. Usually when I have a long list like this, I'm way off. But we're going to talk about the week of February 21st through the 27th, and busy week in many respects with the auction houses. They had a really decent week, especially eBay, believe it or not. And also Heritage had the Davis Garfield sale, which was better than their weekly Wednesday sale as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the dealer art sales to begin with, though. And first up is, let's see, from this period, 316,000 in sales compared to 257 in the previous week. So a decent week for dealers, in part, I think, because there were some good sales that happened at Bashar's show on Sunday, which definitely helped out. Felix was the top seller. What did he have? Just under $73,000 in sales and 134 sales total. And because of that, well, and that was because he had the Ryan Otley drop and the Bergara drop as well. So plenty of art that he was selling. And right behind him, believe it or not, was Anthony Snyder with almost $72,000 in sales himself and 126 total sales. So that's remarkable for Anthony. And Albert next with just over 50. Tatiana had 36,000 in sales. Will had 27. Mike had 20. And next Comic Art, Jiggy had just under 12. So lots of different sellers in there than we're used to having with Tatiana and next Comic Art. So that's positive. And the seller list was really long. So there were quite a few art drops that were going on last week. I think Catskill had a drop. And, I don't even know if I've got Scott's data going into the market data yet. I'm going to have to double check that, because his was the last site we've made. And I know he should have been in the list a few times, but I don't think I've ever said his name. All right. So out of that $316,000 in sales from the dealers that we do track, let me go ahead and play the clip that shows the top 6 sales from dealers last week. So there you go. You got the 316 again total. This first piece was sold by Will, comicartpage.com. Of course, this one is by Jim Aperos from Brave and Bold 140, the cover. And the asking price on this one was $19,500. And then this is a Slain piece, 2000 AD, issue 696 by Simon Bisley. This was sold by Albert with an asking price of $9,000. And this is the cover to Step by Bloody Step by Matthias Bergara. And this was sold by Felix. Asking price on this was $8,000. And this one, I'm going to have to ask Anthony about it, because it was in last week's. So somehow he had it marked for sale, and then he pulled it back, and then he sold it again. So I don't know how it got in there twice. I left it in there because I didn't have time to re-edit and pull it back out. But I'm going to ask him what happened on that one. Here's one that was sold by Albert. Darwin Cook, of course, Green Lantern 47 cover. And this one sold for $7,500. Really nice piece there. And finally, another piece by Albert. This one was by Michael Cho. This is the cover to Marvel Masterworks Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. This one sold for $6,500. And there's my son leaving the long black trail again. Doggone it. I got to talk to him about that. Got to turn those off. So there you go. Dealers had a very good week. Auction houses had a very good week. Last week, the week before, the auction houses sold $294,000 in sales, and this past week it was $450,000 in sales. And of course, the Garfield auction that is included in those totals. The Garfield auction itself had $124,000 in sales, and Heritage Weekly was at 85, and eBay was at 241. So a really strong week for eBay. And I can say that I actually saw that because I get a commission for referral sales over there, and it was a pretty good week for me as well. So not a lot of like super high ticket items, but definitely a lot of a decent material that was sold on eBay last week. So we're going to show you the top 3 sales from eBay, top 3 sales from Heritage Weekly, and I don't include the Garfield ones. In the top 3 sales in the Garfield auction, there was 1 strip and then 2 kind of custom pieces. One I think was a Christmas painted cover, and the other one was a painted cover as well. But I'm going to only show you the top 6, top 3 from eBay, top 3 from Heritage Weekly here. So let's get those on the screen. So 450,000 in total between eBay and Heritage last week. This first one was Jack Kirby piece and it was in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, one from issue 144. The price was $12,000, but it was a make offer at $8,500. Next up was this John Romita Sr. Spider-Man piece. This was used in some ads, I believe, and it sold at a buy it now price of $7,000. I don't know about that signature though. And then there was this Declan Shalvey All-Star Batman 2 variant cover that sold for $3,653 at auction, of course. Now the 3 Heritage pieces. First up was this Joe Kubert Brave and the Bold issue 19, page 12, Beauty. I love this page. Sold for $10,800. And every panel on there is beautiful. And then there was second highest sale was this Jose Gonzalez Vampirella illustration. This one sold for $4,560. And finally, from Heritage is this Kevin Eastman Ninja Turtles issue 100 variant cover that sold for $3,840. And again, the darn black trailing thing. I'm turning that thing off. I'm gonna have a talk with that kid. It's either that or I've got to edit these things myself and clip the ends of them. So yeah, strong price for Declan. I agree. And like Dino said, gorgeous Kubert. That thing was amazing. I mean, I don't pay attention to the weekly auction, so I do miss out on a lot of what gets sold there. I mean, I really just don't pay any attention to it. And it isn't because of dueling dealers. It's more so because I don't have the money to buy stuff, but that's a nice piece, and I don't see pieces like that too often, and that one really struck me. So, and yeah, the Gonzalez was nice as well. So, I mean, Heritage has been pulling out some decent stuff, but it was a low end Heritage auction though. At the end of the day, right? It was 88,000 total for their weekly auction. Usually they're around 120. So, I'm not quite sure why they would have not had more items out there to sell at higher prices, but it was really the volume at the end of the day. I think Heritage only had, what was it? They had 171 pieces closed, and usually they would be somewhere around 210. So they're like 40 artworks shy of normal. And I don't think that the Garfield's auction would have made them do that. So who knows why, but that's Heritage for you. So, hey, I've got Larry in the green room, and I don't want to keep him waiting any longer. I know several of you came here just to see the artworks that Larry was picking tonight. So let me bring him on. Hey, Larry, how's it going, man?
Hey, Bill. Hey, everybody. This is exciting, and Bill, this is a privilege to do this. I mean, I don't know how you and Chris Snork do this every single week. I mean, so I got some numbers here.
Okay.
So last week there was 1,676 pieces. So over that span of 7 days, I'm supposed to choose the top 10. Of those 1,676 pieces, 117 of those are covers. So,
man,
and I would say I think I got lucky because I mean there's some doozies in this one, really nice ones.
There are, and you pick and like with Chris, you picked several that I would have picked. So, because I had picked the, I always try to set up the show early, and I always pick an image that I like from that week before the week's even over, so I can have the show thumbnail ready. And you picked that one. So that's okay. That's okay. But I like it because that's why I like Chris picking first too, because it makes me have to dig a little bit deeper. But like you just said, that's a lot of art to go through. So I don't.
I looked at the thumbnails of all 1,676 pieces. Now, if you had a slideshow that I can actually go through full size through all of them, I would have done it. But I just don't have the time to click on every single one. But I at least saw all the thumbnails of every single one. And of course, well, that number also includes the stuff that aren't classified. But I want to do this right, so I looked at every single piece.
Well, like you said, it's a lot of work. And yeah, I don't know how Chris does. Well, I know how Chris does it because I do it too. But still, it is it's fun though, because it really makes you look at as much, it's not what you would do in a normal week on CAF, right? You're really looking at your keywords, and sometimes you'll spend a little extra time maybe going back to some of your favorite CAF galleries, but yeah, it's a bit of work to really kind of take it all in. And I'm proud that you did it, Larry, because it's not easy.
Right.
All right, so let's so you get to go first. And now I just wanted to be clear, because you kind of had a number, you numbered your pieces like 10 to 1 in the list. So do you want me to start with the one that was numbered 1 first?
I did the whole ranking too.
Okay. Wow. See, now that's taking it above and beyond anything that I've done. Oh, look, Dark Phoenix has given us a super sticker for $3. Thank you very much, Dark Phoenix. We all appreciate that. And Larry is an espresso. All right. Have you ever heard that before, Larry, that you're an espresso? Is on espresso. I'll tell you, a long day for me. So many posts. Yes, that's yeah, we usually get about 250 artworks posted to CAF a day. On a bad day, we'd be around 200. So there's always going to be at minimum around 1,450 pieces of art, on the downside, but typically it's going to be closer to just what Larry said, just below 1,800 pieces of art every single week. So and I love every one of you for doing it, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for so many people posting art to CAF, we still wouldn't be here today after 19 years.
So if anybody wants to do this, I mean, it's a great thing, because I mean, I spend a lot of time looking through every piece, but it's a lot of work if you want to do it right. If you want to look at every single one and try to pick the top 10.
Indeed. And hey, Jill Loudon, you just became a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Jill. I really appreciate that too. I should have Larry on more often. Man, Larry, you should just have your own show on the channel. All right, I'm going to take the night off sometime on Thursday, and this is going to be Larry's show. All right, Larry. Well, let's take a look at your 10, because they're all doozies. Now Dark Phoenix has become a member. Larry, all right, we're working this out, Larry. I'm gonna make you pick 10 artworks every week at this rate.
Oh my goodness, I need to quit my day job then.
But yeah, Chris did just say that it's a labor of love, and it's true. You got to love it to put the effort in to go through it. So all right, well, let's jump right into it. I've got your screen ready to be shared here, or my screen ready to be shared, so I can navigate us through this. Let's
go the other way. But
all right, let's go. All right, now that's actually the way I had it set up too. I'm sorry.
Right, so this is Gene Colan, inked by Frank Springer, Marvel team up in the gallery of Max Fargo. So I love it. I mean, if you're a Gene Colan fan, this is the kind of Gene Colan you look for. I mean, yes, it's you wish it was Moon Knight or Black Panther is just amazing here. Frank Springer did an amazing job with things. I'm not even a big Frank Springer fan, but this every panel in this is so dynamic. So I love it. I mean, Black Panther, the movement, it's dynamic. Even the policeman on the right side, it's just full of expression. So this Gene Colan, I'm very jealous of Max for owning this. So I don't know why I blanked out Daredevil. So I know most people would go for a Daredevil, but this, I wish Gene Colan did more Black Panther.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I've got a Dracula piece by him, but yeah, I'd love to have a Daredevil piece as well. And it's funny because Max was the one who kind of helped organize that 9th art exhibit in Rome the weekend before last. And he sent me a scan of this before he even had it in his CAF. He's like, this is the one big pickup, or trade. I think he said he did a trade to get it. So he was super duper excited about this piece as well. So I'm glad that you picked it, because I'd forgotten about it. But no, so this is a really great piece, and I even like, the bottom two panels with Spidey in there too. So
yeah.
yeah.
By the way, this is going to surprise some folks. This is my only Marvel art in the top 10.
I did notice that. I think I made up for it a little bit when I do my 10, but
Right.
but all right. No, this is a good one. I put my like on it, and again, Max Fargo is the name of the collector here. So definitely check out Max's gallery if you have time. So let me get my like on this next one here. So Brian Peck's gallery.
All right. So this is Nestor Redondo, who's a very underrated artist. I think if he didn't pass away at a fairly young age and just kept going, he'd be popular, like amongst a lot of the living legends we have now. But unfortunately, I think he passed in the mid 80s. But he was probably the best artist, I think, who came out of the Philippines. I mean, if he was still alive, he'd probably be just as popular as Alan Davis or Jose Garcia Lopez. So every time I see Nestor Redondo art, I mean, I'm just in awe of this layouts and the details. Like every line is precise, everything is carefully placed. I mean, this is in Brian Peck's gallery, and I'm really jealous of it. So,
no, Redondo's he's amazing, and Brian's got a good eye. He's got a very eclectic collection, but yeah, I don't know. I've always admired Brian's collection, just a lot like I admire Steve Morgan's collection, right? He collects a lot of similar artwork as well. And now this was a great pick, one of my favorite pieces of the week as well. I mean, I've been a big fan of his for a very long time, and yeah, you look at that, look at the line work in there. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's like I said, I wish he was more popular. I think at one time I saw a Batman by Nestor go on Heritage, and it was just a sketch of Batman, full body, and went for $4,000. Mm-hmm. So some people know about them. So
right, Ruben says Alcala should be first, but Redondo is great, as is Nebris and the rest of the Filipinos. Yeah, it's hard to pick a top one, but we all can have our own. Right. So. All right. Well, that was a good one, and Brian should be happy. I don't think I featured too many things from Brian's CAF, but he's got a really amazing collection, and continues to grow. Let's see. All right. So.
All right. So, even though this doesn't have a huge picture, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but with all due respect to Sean Murphy, I think this is the coolest Batmobile on paper I've ever seen. I mean, Mateo is one of the hottest artists right now. Whether he's doing covers or interiors, Mateo is just amazing. I think I loved his work like 10 years ago, and his price is probably 10 times more than it was like 10 years ago. But I think he's actually 10 times better than he was 10 years. I mean, he was still great, and he's at the brink of being a superstar. I mean, if I was creating my own book and I was a writer, I would pick, Mateo is probably today's, artist I want on it. I mean, Mateo is just incredible.
No, I completely agree. And you're right. That Batmobile is as awesome as you've ever seen one drawn before. I love it. And I wish we had a bigger scan, unfortunately. But yeah, no, it's a great image.
Yeah. I mean, even though it wasn't a great scan or a great picture, I still love it. I mean, it was enough detail in there that I can see is like, this is an amazing page that I wish I owned.
Well, a lot of people are loving on the Scalera as well. I don't own anything by Scalera. I need to be making a list every time I see something on the show that I really appreciate. I got to put it down on the list so I can try to pick up something at some point. Do you have anything by him?
I do have some commissions, and so it's crazy. It was one New York Comic Con. I did order like 2 double page splash commissions. Yes, oh, wow. It sounds very ambitious to ask somebody to draw 2 double page splashes at a convention. Yeah. Mateo did both of them on one day on a Sunday in New York Comic Con.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's amazingly fast.
Are they in your CAF?
I think so. Yeah, one was a Walking Dead, the other one was Daredevil and Ninjas. So he was just incredible. I mean, that's, you're talking about New York Comic Con on a Sunday, so that's from like 10 to 5 p.m. I think. And to do 2 double page splashes in one day, one convention, while in the middle of the he's doing those commissions, he goes around and takes a photo with Frank Miller. So he takes his break too, and then he goes back to doing the commissions.
Man, yeah, that's I can't even imagine that, because Sundays are, I mean, not only is it a winding down, you're beat there on a Sunday, but it's still pretty darn busy. So for him to get 2 double page commissions is just crazy.
So he has the speed, he got the quality. I mean, this guy is just only getting better from. So, I mean, 5 years from now, he probably is going to be that next superstar. So,
I cannot argue with that one.
Yeah,
and I think this is the piece some people were hoping to see. By
So, obviously, you saw it as well, because that was on the YouTube banner. This is by Nicola Scott. I think I pronounced it right, Nicola. And it's one of the best Wonder Woman pieces I've ever seen. I mean, it's going through all these different outfits, and she's not taking any shortcuts. She's drawing all those details in the costumes and in the hair. Nicola is probably one of today's best female artists in the industry. I know Joelle Jones is also very popular as well. So, but I think it's fitting that, one of the best, Wonder Woman pieces I've seen is drawn by, one of today's, best female artists in the big 2.
No, this is beautiful. I mean, I loved it from the moment I saw it get posted, and that was why I used it as the show thumbnail, because I mean, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And and I feel like every figure, every face is different. I mean, she really went, put a lot of effort into the detail in this piece, and every character feels unique, and and that's difficult to do. I mean these are rather, at the end of the day, I'm assuming it's 11 by 17, so these are small figures, but they're just drawn very unique, and congratulations. This is
did you know there were this many outfits with Wonder Woman?
I did not. Well, I feel like I've seen at least 2/3 of them, but when I was looking at them, I was like, well, I don't remember that one. Like, because I, again, not being a DC guy, I didn't read a lot of Wonder Woman books growing up. So
I think I remember what Linda Carter wore and what Gal Gadot wore, but nothing in between.
All right. So Jill said, yeah, it confirmed it is 11 by 17. So yeah, that's a lot of detail. I mean, those heads are not even an inch tall. So that's just amazing that there's that much detail in this piece. It's phenomenal. And Jill, I'm just super, super pleased that Wonder effing Woman has it in her CAF gallery.
Yes,
as it should be. So yeah, there you go. Even Scott said it in all caps. Wonder effing Woman. Oh man. All right. So I got my like on that one. So and everybody should be checking out Wonder effing Woman's CAF gallery when you get a chance. Best set of Wonder Woman picks out there in anybody's CAF gallery.
All right. So I'm a big Alex Toth fan, and this is like the perfect example. This is how you knew that, Alex was born to draw comics. I mean, each panel is a masterpiece on its own, and it's just altogether, it's just one dynamic story. The top 2 panels just full of excitement with this chase, and then it gracefully ends with the silhouette at the end. And he hand draws all of the lettering, and to me, I know this is like a great artist, because even if there were no words on this, I could kind of understand what's going on in this story. So, this is probably one of the best Alex Toth pieces I've ever seen, and this is in Chris K's collection.
No, yeah, I love his piece as well. And I mean, Toth is, there's not enough, sequential Toth artwork on CAF, let alone out there. But this is just, it's amazing. I've clearly, and it's probably the same for you, Larry. I mean, you've seen more of his thumbnail work and his animation work, but it's so rare to see something like this. And it's just, he's a master. It's like you just said, every single panel is executed to perfection. And I mean, it's just, you're right. I could stare at it forever. I mean, it's so well done. I mean, there's so many things in a piece like this where you could skimp on the details in the bazaar shop in the top panel on the right. You didn't need to draw every plate or everything, but he puts it all in there, and it doesn't look busy. He's done it in such a way that it just looks so perfect. And all the different bricks. I mean, he didn't draw one kind of brick. He drew. There's sandstone in there. There's granite. There's. I mean, and it's all there, and you can see it. And it's just. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful page.
So I will say that, but this is number 6 in my top 10. Somehow I found 5 pieces that I thought were better than this. I don't know how, but I can't believe this is number 6 for me. But this is an incredible piece.
Well, I completely agree, and I'm jealous that you were able to rank them, because I don't think I could ever do that.
All right, so now we're getting into my top 5. This is a George Perez, History of the DC Universe by favorite Dino Mauricio, and I have to say, Bill, one of the great things about CAF is you do get to see all your new art from your favorite artists, and you get to learn about new artists. But one of the great things about CAF is you also follow other collectors very closely. Like, I mean, you love this. I love to see, always love to see, like, the great next, George Perez piece.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love to see when Dino makes an update. So
right.
when Dino makes an update, you want to be there and see, like, is that going to be the home run? And, he almost never disappoints. And you could say this for a couple other collectors too, like, Bill J, Dinesh.
Sure.
So, I mean, so I follow the artists as much as I do the collectors. So it's all thanks to CAF. And, any passionate George Perez fan, would love to have a great new Teen Titans piece. And I think this definitely checks that box of a great Teen Titans piece. Like, it doesn't just have the core team; it has all the extended members too. Even has Tara.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I mean, I was so happy to see this one posted, because it was a piece that I hadn't seen in a while, and it's just a reminder of how great Perez is. But like you said, watching CAF members is an important part of the hobby. I can tell you, and through CAF. One of the I'm sure everybody's aware of this, but there was a broken image in the CAF mailings. It's been broken for years, right? Anybody who's a premium member and follows CAF galleries knows that in the mailing, the avatar of the person you're following has been broken for literally 3 or 4 years, and it was just something that I always kept forgetting to talk to Maureen about. Well, we fixed that like 2 or 3 days ago. So for anybody who's secretly been angry with me for not including that image in the emails, they're fixed now. So I hate the fact that it took me 4 years to actually fix that. But I follow a lot of people's galleries, Larry, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
And just for that reason, so I can check out what pieces they're adding to their collection. I mean, it's it's a necessity. I mean, I can follow my watch list on CAF too, but the email really is more helpful to me, because I can quickly scan that and not go through everything on CAF. But yeah, this is a fantastic piece,
and it's oversized too. So it's
is it? I didn't read the description on this one. So it's oversized a lot, like because a lot of his Titans, at least I know some at different points, he was doing a lot of oversized work on Titans. So that's cool. All right. Yeah. Well, Dino, another stellar piece added to your CAF gallery. This is a beauty. Yep, I could stare at it for a lot longer. All right, so that was number 5. So now we're going to number 4.
Yeah, and guess what? It's another George Perez piece. And I did some switches with the ranks, but I put this a little bit ahead, and just because, I mean, this is one of the best Wonder Woman covers I've ever seen. I mean, look how intense she is. I've never seen her so pissed off. So, and then that even that lasso of truth that she has, I mean, it's like on fire, or I guess maybe on lightning.
Crackling, yeah.
I mean, it's and then you have Batman in a silhouette. So just that contrast between Wonder Woman and Batman is so cool. And you obviously you got Robin and the cityscape in the background, but This is such a beautiful cover.
No, I agree. I've been thinking a lot about getting a Perez piece, that because I've never had anything by George for myself. I've gotten sketches for my son, never owned a piece, and now it's like I've got to figure something out. But this piece, I mean, it's got everything you would want in a Perez cover, right? I mean, not only, you've a fantastic Wonder Woman image, Batman, even though you can't see him, it's just the fact that, he's like the most ominous presence on there after Wonder Woman. And then the cityscape, right? I mean, it's just amazing. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Jim Reed, he's the owner of this piece, and he doesn't post very much, but I know he's a longtime collector, and every time he posts, it's always usually something amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jim doesn't update his CAF very often, but when he does, very choice pieces. All right, so we're moving on to Larry's number 3.
That's right. So, this is a little bittersweet to me because I tried to win this in Comic Link, but Pat L, congratulations. I bid as high as I could, but Pat L, I think he could gone a little much further than I could, and he got this piece. So a little bittersweet, but to me, this is such a great Kevin Nolan painting. It's so perfectly executed. I mean, I've seen a couple Kevin Nolan paintings before. I even own one myself, but this Batgirl is one of my favorites. I mean, to me, it's probably my most favorite Kevin Nolan piece ever. So unfortunately, I didn't win it, but congratulations to Pat. This is an amazing win, and this is probably one of his most notable acquisitions in 2022. So.
Yeah, no, I can't see how this one wouldn't be. Well, it could. He has a very good collection, right? So maybe this won't make it to the best of for his 5, but it should, because it is. I mean, look at the choice of color, the tone in this thing. I mean, that's hard to pull off and still have it look as as well lit as it is, even though these tones are just so muted. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Well, I can see why you wanted it.
Yeah, well, the former owner of this was the Vacuum, and everything in his collection is top notch. So I can't believe he let this one go. The pedigree of where this came from was one of the best collections, and is going to another great collection.
Yeah, I agree. And look, Dan Lawless says, I still pinch myself having Kevin ink some of my first work at Marvel. Yeah, that that would be pretty cool, Dan. Let's see. Marcus is asking if you got any Dynamite picks in your cover and your list tonight. Let's see. I don't think we're heading in that direction. Dynamite. That's right. So now we're down to the final 2, and this is the second top pick here.
So
and,
this was an incredible week. This is the 3rd George Perez piece I have in my top 10. So 3 of my top 10 are George Perez piece, and I've never seen this before. It's not a cover, but wow. I mean, this is typical George Perez. He's going to try to fit in 100 characters, and he's going to draw like each character with as much detail as he can.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably one of my new most favorite George Perez pieces. I mean, and George Perez throughout his career probably has hundreds of great pieces, but I've never seen this one before. And I think, in this last week, I mean, I was very fortunate that there's probably 3 of the very best George Perez's ever showed up. And there's no way for me, I couldn't put, all of them in my top 10.
Yeah, this is a piece, because I don't think he wrote a lot. No, he didn't write a lot about. I wasn't familiar with it either. So I don't know what it's from, but man, I thought the same thing. I mean, this is, you couldn't pass up this piece, right? I mean, I wouldn't have. I would have picked this for sure. But I probably would have picked the other ones too. It would have been difficult to pick the same artist more than once. But you did the right thing, Larry. I mean, the 3 picks that you had are amazing, and this would have been my favorite too. Just for everything about it, the architecture that's here, and the detail that he puts into all his architectures when it's part of his drawings. But all the characters, the Rogues Gallery here. it's just awesome. And it's like, who's the character he put the least effort in? The Batman, but the Batman just kind of frames everything here, right? I mean, it brings your eye right down to the rabble. And yeah, I mean, this is an amazing piece, and just another reason why George is, he's a master. I can't see anyone ever coming close to, his output, his attention to detail. Like, I mean, he's just an amazing guy. And
yeah,
and
I don't know who's ever going to be the next George Perez, but I mean, we were very fortunate that he's had a long storied career. And like I said, he has hundreds of more of amazing pieces that he drew throughout his career. So it's just, yeah, I mean, I feel, when I went into this, I felt kind of awkward if I chose like the same artist twice, or even like two pieces from the same collection. But, I had to make exception for these rules because this is George Perez. I mean, I got to show him the love.
No, well, you chose very wisely. And unfortunately, I did tease the first one by having it that tab highlighted first, but we're going to go ahead now and show your favorite piece from the week.
You guys saw a preview earlier, but you know what? I'm just going to say it. As of March 3rd, 2022, Chris K has locked down the 2022 CAF Award for Best Interior Art. I mean, this is just so amazing.
Yep.
What are you gonna? I mean, what's gonna come out over the next couple months that's probably gonna beat this as an interior art? I think this. I think there's only like 3 people who can probably draw a page at this level of quality. Maybe like Frank Frazetta, Bernie Wrightson, and maybe Alex Raymond. So, there's this is peak Bernie Wrightson. Like even in like the last 30, 40 years of his life, I don't even think Bernie could draw something like this. I think because this is like right before Frankenstein, and then after Frankenstein, he just wasn't drawing the same anymore. I think so. This to me, I Chris K won the award last year for his Hal Foster Prince Valiant. I think this is better than that Hal Foster. This is, like I don't know what's going to come out for the next couple of months, but to me, it's going to be hard to beat this as like the top interior page in 2022.
No, I agree. I mean, this is it's one of my favorite pieces so far as well. But I know Chris has a great eye, and this is. I mean, I don't even know what you've kind of said it all there, other than the fact that that black cat, man. I see why he wants to take the axe to it. I mean, it almost killed him. But that, the panel with the stairs there. I mean, that the angle on that, that is such a beautiful image, and and it's so unique to the way Wrightson worked. I mean, you look at the character; he's falling into a dark room, but the character is well lit, above really a darkened cellar. I mean, but so it looks wrong, but it's so right. And like you said, this is a period where Bernie is probably still figuring things out, right? I mean, and he's already a genius, and yet he's still kind of finding his way, right? I mean, he was still essentially still kind of breaking in at this point. And man, I mean, it's just I agree with you. This is going to be in the top, at least in the top 3 or 4 interior pages for 2022. I can't imagine a page that a sequential page that is going to be much better than this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe another page from the same book. I don't know. But this is stunning. Oh geez. I mean, I could look at this all day. I mean, every line that Bernie wrote, that Bernie drew, it's just incredible.
No, it is. I like Rick said, wrong, but so right. Very true. And thank you, David. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm going to have Larry back. Larry's he's a lightning rod around here. So, but yeah, no, it's a perfect pick. And if I was going to rank your 10, I mean, I would have put that at the top as well. I mean, and I did like it already, right? Yes, I did. So if you haven't checked out Chris K's gallery, you should definitely do that, everybody. And I should say, I did link all the picks and things that we talked about tonight, the 10 that Larry did, the 10 that I've done, and then all of the auction or dealer sales are linked. If you're on YouTube, it's right there at the top. There's a link that you can follow over to CAF and see all of these pieces as well. So, and Mikhail gave me a good suggestion, actually, Larry. He said that when we're doing these sorts of highlights, that we should actually kind of, do it where we're actually recording it into the database, right? Such that when you're on this piece, you could actually say you were included in the 84th CAF update. And so somehow tie that back into the fact that we do these updates. And so hopefully they kind of, that circle of,
I think that would be a great idea.
I do too. So, and there's actually ways that I can get it done that aren't too difficult. I mean, like most people see it. There's actually this bar across the top that nobody else gets because it says admin right there. But this is how like Colin picks his featured artworks for the day, and how our moderators can flag not work safe images so that I can kick them out, and a few other things. But it would actually be very easy for us to tie these back into a central database that highlighted these as well. And I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I'm glad Mikhail's in there. I should have him as my, he's got to be director of something. He's been throwing a lot of good ideas my way lately. He was the one who was responsible for us getting the thumbnail on the comments page that, it had been suggested many times in the past, but it took Mikhail to kind of kick me in the pants and get me to finally get that done. So thank you, Mikhail. Don't stop sending ideas to me. So there you go. Synergy workflow efficiencies. That's going to be his title. Master of synergy, synergize workflow efficiencies. Okay. All right. Everybody loves your picks, Larry. So I don't know how I'm going to compete with them, but I'm going to
sure
try.
You found some. I mean, I had like some backup picks too. So.
Oh no, it took a little longer than usual, to be honest, but there was a lot of great pieces, and I was like, all right, I got to stay away. I can't pick a colon because you really got the best one, and I saw a couple other pieces in there. But let me get my screen shared here. Let's see. All right, got that, and go ahead and add that here. See, so starting right off with the Marvel. See, I took care of the fact that you didn't focus heavy on Marvel. But let's see. Let me get my heart on this one. So, Frosty's Igloo of Solitude is the name of the CAF gallery in Jay Frost. So Jay Frost, as you can see, has been a member since June 2005. And one of the reasons I picked this one, not only because it's Buckler and Sinnott. Sinnott makes everybody look great, right? At the end of the day, I mean, I love Buckler, but you look at this and it's like you can see the Sinnott inks in it. I mean, Joe just made he made Marvel great. He made every creator he worked with, better. And, this is a great Thundra page, but I thought it was funny because, I remember the cups as well, but he actually took the image.
Oh, they actually used Thunder for marketing?
Yeah.
Wow.
As on a Slurpee cup. So I thought that was, I always encourage, from 7-Eleven, I always encourage everybody to include extra images, whether it's the color piece or not. And I just thought that was great that it was on a cup, and he included that image as part of CAF. But again, just a great page. Again, just, for me, it's just, I look at this and it's a period in Marvel where I was really, where I was collecting off the newsstand. And so I really like this period a lot. And I would be hard pressed to find, any page, whether it was a Buscema page or something from Sal or Buckler, Milgram, any of the guys working around this time period where I would be dissatisfied with it, with a panel page. But I just love this one just because of the story. And again, and because of the Slurpee cup, I actually, that was the thing that pushed me over the edge on that one.
But yeah, I had this as a contender, and I know Robert Frost, personally. I mean, I chat with him too, and
good.
I told him this could possibly be a top 10, but I couldn't turn down that colon piece. I just loved it. But this is an amazing piece too, and this is a grail for Robert Frost. So congratulations to him. I agree. Sinnott took this to a whole new level for Buckler. I mean, it is a wonderful, beautiful page.
I agree, and I actually didn't know. Well, I'm glad you know Frost, because I didn't, and but I read through here, and I guess he has a Thunder collection of sorts, right? Yep. So this is a great addition.
Yeah, he chases after Thundra, Fantastic Four pages. So
Well,
he's
that's
very fortunate to get this, and I'm very happy for him.
well, congratulations to him. Next up is this is in Jason's collection, Jason D'Ambrosio. I've picked a few pieces from Jason of late, but this one, was an odd piece. I mean, I'm used to Jason being the X-Men guy, and here we have an Infinity ink by McFarlane, right? I'm thinking, why did he do that? But I just love the composition on the page, and I can say I never read Infinity Ink, so I don't know anything about the stories at all, and I know that's blasphemy. Scott Wingo would be mad because it's a McFarlane book, and I know nothing about it other than the characters, and but I love the layout of the page. I just thought it was really beautiful. I know it looks like it's a stat on the right side, but man, I mean, it struck me just as an image. I mean, it's so busy when I was looking at it as a thumbnail, and then when I went in to look at it at the detail, I love the the characterization on all the faces. I mean, I just thought it was just a well laid out page. Even though it looks busy with all the word balloons and everything, it still all works and doesn't overwhelm me as a piece of art. So yeah.
I think what you can see here, so this is early on in Todd's career, but he was pushing the envelope early on in terms of trying to do all these different styles and different panel sizes. So Todd, he was full of creativity early on in his career.
Well, I've got a lot to learn because it's like I said, I know that Todd was really getting into books at this point, as far as exploring his creativity and whatnot. But I've never looked at him. I've got to fix that. I think I know Scott has a decent collection in his CAF gallery. Maybe I should.
I think this came from Scott's to Jason's gallery. So
so Scott was the one breaking him of the hat. All right, yeah. I get it. Very good. Well, congratulations to Jason on that one. Let's see. Next up, I don't pick John Romita Jr. too often, but I really like this piece just because of how the simple line work on it. Right. I mean, okay, not simple line work. The line work's beautiful, but it is so delicate and light, and it works so well to illustrate the Kingpin. Right. I mean, as just this massive guy, this piece couldn't be any looser and feel more imposing and strong an illustration in the way it's done. And I mean, Williamson inks certainly, helps a lot, but I just love this piece. And I thought about not picking it because I do shy away from picking Romita Jr. pieces for some reason. But when it was one of the pieces that was on the cusp. It was like my 11th pick, and I kept it. And I don't remember which one I dropped out because of it, but yeah, just love this piece a great deal.
Is this from Man Without Fear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Page 1. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the combination of John Romita Jr. and Al Williamson is just amazing. I mean, this is about the presence. They wanted to show Kingpin as this, giant, and have this huge presence, and I think they accomplished it. I mean, they needed him to look intimidating, and a close-up view of this. I mean, give Al Williamson, a lot of credit of this as well. He really, brought it out.
Yep, I completely agree, and I mean, because I'm not going to say anything more negative. I like John Romita Jr.'s work a lot, but Williamson really makes his work shine, and this piece is let's see. I want to make sure I get the owners right. Luca Baldi, of course, from Italy, a longtime collector on CAF, member since 2008. All right, so let me get my like on this one before we started talking about it. I did pick a John Romita Jr. again. See, I guess you had Perez and I've got Romita Jr., but this one's with Claus Janson inking. Right. So Punisher Warzone cover. I mean, not a whole lot needs to be said about it, but I mean, to me, this is probably one of my more favorite Romita Jr. Punisher pieces. Guns blazing, everything about this is the exact opposite of the previous piece, right? The other one was so light and delicate, and now on this one, with Janson inks, it's just heavy and rough and gritty, and everything I like about Janson inking on John Romita Jr. So there you go. I'm breaking myself of my not showing John
Oh,
Romita.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a Punisher cover, you got the guns, check. I mean, he's blasting them. You got bullets everywhere, check. I mean, he's cut and he's ugly, check. I mean, like you said, gritty. I mean, this has everything. It checks all the boxes of what makes a great Punisher cover.
Yeah, no, this is here, I should have zoomed in on it a bit. But yeah, it's man. Punisher's such a great character. I mean, so many artists have done, great work with, on Punisher titles. You think about Zach but John Romita's work as well just shines there. And I didn't even realize there was a non-overlaid piece. That's a little blurry, but
yeah, I love that cut on his face too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a nice detail.
Yep, that is definitely is. Yeah, it's a deep gash, but great piece there. And I'm gonna have a talk with because Jason is our X guy, that we're gonna have on the show talking X-Men art, and we're gonna have to ask him what made him turn to the dark side and go after that Infinity Inc. piece. That's got to be a part. That's got to be at least a 1 minute Q&A with Jason, so we can understand his rationale for doing that. All right, well, wonderful piece here. And this one's small scan, just like you had on the one Batman piece, but Paul Gulacy. This is from it's a Black Widow page from Bizarre Adventures, but storytelling wise, I mean, I just again, I wish it was bigger, but I just love Gulacy's just a master of shadows, light and darks, and this piece I just thought was beautiful. I'd love to see it in person. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Every panel on here is great.
Yeah, Gulacy at his best is as good as anybody. The facial expressions, and you got the Black Widow in the middle within the silhouette. Gulacy this is a great storytelling here.
I agree, and like Mel pointed out, Michael Caine and Bogey, exactly. It's true. It really is. But a great. Yeah, I'd love to see this one in person though, because his technique was just really unique. I mean, and I haven't seen too many of his pieces from this period in person, but yeah, no, this is a phenomenal piece. And again, I wish it was a bigger scan, but what can we do? But whose CAF gallery was this? Oh, Malcolm. Gosh, Malcolm, I got to talk to Malcolm. I mean, come on, look, Malcolm's a premium member. What is he doing posting I mean, how big is this thing?
What's the additional image? Is the additional image any bigger?
Yeah, Malcolm.
Okay.
All right.
he got it with the overlay large.
Oh, for goodness sake. I wouldn't even looked at it because I assumed it was going to be just as small. Well, son of a gun. I'm going to Malcolm. Why would he do that? All right. Well,
beautiful.
I'm going to email Malcolm for shame. But a great addition to Malcolm's CAF, of course. He's got a great gallery on the site as well. All right. So next up, I've got a Frank Miller piece. I do like a Sin City period. So this one, the Hell and Back, was a good one. Now, whose CAF gallery was this? Oh, Mark Levy. Mark's got so many people have top shelf collections on CAF, right? Mark is one of them, and I don't know if he's in the chat tonight or not. He's in many of our chats, but man, what a great piece to add to his CAF gallery. I mean, everything about this, I love the panel layout. It seems convoluted and maybe a little too busy, but at the end of the day, I mean, it just works so well. So my hats off to Mark for another great piece in his CAF gallery.
Yeah, I saw this one too, and I think it was in one of Mitch's drop recently. But this is probably the best one out of that drop when Mitch released a bunch of new Frank Miller Sin City art. This is quite amazing. I love that top right panel. So.
Yeah, no, that's right. Mitch had that drop about 2 weeks ago or so. I mean, I always check those out too, but the pages are just a little bit out of reach for me. I mean, I should go for one at some point, or they'll really be out of reach. But but no, this is a great pickup. I just read what Stephen Nam said. If Bill ever told me for shame, I'd stay in a cave for about a year. Well, Malcolm's not watching right now. He's in bed, so he didn't have to hear me say that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I love the patterns in her clothes and the hair. The details in the hair is, I mean, so much to love about this page.
Exactly, and I mean, he makes it look translucent in just a fun, easy way that Miller takes sometimes take shortcuts that don't seem to work right, and but in this case, man, it all works right. I mean, the way he's done her hair in the later pieces, I mean, it's not, it's I love it. I think everything about this piece is just great. So my hat's off to Mark. So that, see, I should have I'm going to try putting mine 1 to 10 one of these days, Larry. Now you've got me thinking, how would I have ordered this if I was going to do them 1 to 10? So let's see. This is by Benjamin Sue, and let me get this over here. Ghost Rider number 1. I can say I'm not very familiar with Benjamin's work, but I really, as much as I love the bottom figure here, I love the treatment of Ghost Rider up here. I can almost like feel the heat coming off the costume. I love the effect. It's a lot of overpainting with white out or something to they give it the splashy effect. But man, I just loved this image the moment I saw it, and it was out of my 10 picks, it really was like near the top, just because not being familiar with his work, and I was just overcome just by the way it was drawn, and like I say, it felt like a really smoking hot Ghost Rider cover. So it made me actually do a little bit of research on Benjamin, just so I could be like a little bit more familiar with their work. So I like when I come across works like that make me want to learn a little bit more about a creator that I'm not maybe as familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to your site, I now know who Benjamin Sue is, and his original art looks amazing. I don't know if I would ever notice him if it was not for your site. And yeah, I mean, this is a great Ghost Rider piece. I have to, sometimes I'm going to have to ask some artists. I mean, how many different ways can you draw a Ghost Rider? I mean, do you guys run out of ideas, or do you feel like you're copying other people? But I mean, this is a great original, cover. But I know everybody, they draw Ghost Rider and he's doing a wheelie and then you see fire everywhere. But it probably is a strain in terms of what can you do different than hasn't been already done with Ghost Rider. But I think Benjamin knocked us out of the park. And then he's going to be a new artist. It looks like, I don't know how long he's been in the industry, but I think he has a pretty promising career.
I agree. Yeah, Nick says definitely influenced by text. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And Mel even suggested Ashley Wood. Yeah, I can see that as well. Yeah, Fred Hembeck would draw a Ghost Rider definitely in a very. What's funny is that's so funny. You want to know what piece got kicked out of my list was a Hembeck piece. Now that there was that Hembeck, I can't even remember what it was. It had like 6 or 7 characters on it, and I was thinking to myself, I've never featured a Hembeck, and I don't think anybody's featured a Hembeck yet. Now, if there's a guy who hasn't been super consistent in his style for at least almost 40 years, or maybe I don't know when he started, but I mean, as a creator, he would always be overlooked when we're doing our picks, and that was my 11th pick, and so I have to one of these, I'm going to correct that wrong one of these days and get a Hembeck in there, but anyway, back to this piece.
No, I wouldn't be shy to picking a Hembeck. I mean, I don't remember seeing a Hembeck, so I got to take a look again.
You know what? I'll send you the link after the show, because it was I still have it in another tab on another browser window, but it was a great piece, and that's what reminded me. I'm like, man, how could I have never picked a Hembeck? I mean, I bought a couple myself. Jeff has sent me a couple. I mean, so I've got a Hembeck collection, and we've never ever featured a single piece by the guy. So thank you to Mel for reminding me of that. Okay, so I've got 3 more to go here. Oh, and this is the collection of Anim Sketch. They've been on the site for a very long time as well, and I don't think they were always under the name Anim Sketch, but that's the one to look up now if you want to check their CAF gallery out. All right, so final 3 for me. This Gabriel Delato piece, Dark Knight's Metal number 5. Not a big scan either, but I don't know. I'm a sucker for most things that Delato does, and I like the in this piece. I just felt like there was a lot of crazy movement, and you don't want to be that bat. I mean, the bat looks like it's ready to cry, and but again, I like the color choices that Delato made in this one. I mean, with the yellows and the kind of gray blue colors on it. I mean, it's really it's striking, and I like the composition. mean, the draped chains just kind of frame the piece really well. So again, a piece that I picked just because I don't pick paintings too often, and I just thought this was a great one.
Yeah, I think there were probably 3 or 4 Delato pieces that were posted this week, and I agree. I mean, I had this as one of my backups too. This is probably the best of the bunch of the Delatos that I saw, and yeah, I love it. He looks like he's about to eat that bat, and the chains, the teeth. Delato has always been amazing, and this is one of his best.
I agree, and so now Ruben knows what Hembeck I was talking about, so I'm gonna show it tonight, so that way I can at least say that it was one of my top alternates. It was the top alternate. All right, now I didn't, the week before, Mikhail had a great Galactus piece, and I didn't get to pick it. It was one of those ones that fell through the cracks, as they do when you only have 10 picks to do. So this one by Manuel Garcia, I just, everything about this piece was super cool to me. I love the pose on Galactus, and we talked about the tropes. You got the the heroes in somebody's hand. Well, here he's got the Earth in his hand. I mean, I just thought it was a really cool approach to the Galactus in this one, and I love all the brushwork on the on Galactus's costume. So everything about it. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than it was just a really nice image, and I always kept thinking about Mikhail's piece and not featuring it the week before. So now I've got a Galactus in here this week.
Yeah, I agree. Manuel Garcia is one of my favorite, current artists as well. Yeah, I actually do have a few commissions. I just need to find a time to put it. I mean, they're large. They're like 22 by 17.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of them he did was a remake of the George Perez's Teen Titans #1. It's one of my favorite commissions. And actually, I have an X-Men one that I received a few weeks ago. I'll post a picture of them. I was going to try to find a way to scan them and stitch them together, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, but I'll go ahead and put a photo. But yeah, Manuel Garcia is just amazing. His brushwork is great. Yeah.
No, I agree. That was absolutely fantastic. Okay, I've got my like on that one. So my last pick was a Sal Buscema piece, and I don't pick a lot of Sal pieces either. And this one, I just thought it was really great. Spectacular Spider-Man, and I just like, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, Sal is like a journeyman, right? I mean, he as far as a creator goes, I mean, he's got a tremendous body of work, and it's cool that we get to see, Catskill still getting some pieces out there. But I like the bottom panel or anything. I like the crash, the way that the glass is breaking, the word crash is broken. The exclamation points falling down there near the floor. I just, like the approach to the piece. And more importantly, I just felt that I've overlooked Sal a lot. And I know that there are thousands of Sal fans out there, right? I mean, Nick Catratis would strangle me for not, because I don't think I've ever featured a piece of Sal. At least I haven't in a very long time. And Nick's probably one of Sal's biggest fans. And this isn't like Sal's greatest piece of art out there, but I saw it, I liked it, and it made me want to kind of right the wrong that I haven't given Sal Buscema any love on the show myself. I think some of the I think Chris has picked a piece or two by him in the past, but I needed to fix that on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a page that counts on how many pages that an artist draw, but Sal has to be up there. Such a long career, and I think he ever since he got into the industry, he was just been a workhorse. He's always drawing the interiors. He's from one interior to another, and they always gave him a lot of work. So he's been blessed for having a long, career. And, I'm hearing from collectors in the 90s, you just saw Sal art everywhere. They're all like $100, $50. They're just everywhere. And then some of those folks now are like, you get those are worth $2,000 each. They could have just walked out, come in $1,000 and just walk out with a box full of Sal art. Because Sal art was just everywhere.
It was, and it made you, and as when I was early in my collecting, right, about 20 years ago, that you saw just so much sal art out there, you didn't think to buy any. I mean, because you just thought it was always going to be around, and good pages would be easy to get, but that's not really the case anymore, And I think Sal's, he's still got room to grow as far as the market, and I think he's, I mean, again, I don't know how a guy who worked as much as he did isn't like listed, up there with the greats, but it's Sal. I mean, he did an incredible job, and again, this piece is great. So I'm glad I've gotten to correct that. And many people also agree with us.
Yeah. Khalil should work on trying to acquire this. He's a big Puma fan.
He's a big Puma fan. Exactly. Right after Black Panther. So here I've got the Hembeck here.
Oh,
so yeah, ladies of the 80s. That's what it was. So Rick W. Rick, see, you almost made it, Rick, but now you have as my 11th pick. So I was wrestling, with this one, and I ended up having to drop it because
all I can see is Power Girl.
I know, but hey, but again, nobody draws like Hembeck, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, and every time I see his work on eBay, it's like I gotta buy another sketch card, right? Because he's I just like back to being able to support guys who are still pumping out artworks is always important. I'm sure to everybody. I mean, if you don't own do you have a Hembeck in your collection, Larry?
I don't remember if I do. I mean, if I do, I probably might be only one. But I mean, I'm thinking about what to get from Hembeck. So
there he goes.
I just don't know what to ask for. But I will put something from him in my collection.
Everybody should have at least one Hembeck. So I think directly from him, I've only picked up one piece. I picked up like a Spider-Man versus the Fly. On a bigger piece too, so not the ones that he kind of does on eBay right now, but it would have been on like that was probably like 10 by 12. Nice piece. I don't even know if it's in my CAF. I should correct that. Yeah.
So Hembeck, I guess in Marvel Age, he used to draw those parody strips, and just they were funny. I remember reading them. So if I got a chance, I would love to buy one of those strips that he wrote and drew in Marvel Age.
Oh, without question. Yeah, and Jill just said you don't have one in your CAF gallery, Larry.
Okay, I guess I need to go contact Fred Hembeck. I just need the right idea. That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm waiting for.
There you go. Well, I can't imagine that Fred would turn down much. I mean, if you had a good idea for him, he's the kind of guy that would pretty much tackle anything. And the thing is, what you're gonna get. I mean, he's so consistent. It's like he's somebody who I don't see how you could ever be disappointed getting a Hembeck just because it's always going to be what you would expect out of him. So there you go. Oh, Rich says he did him for the Comic Buyer's Guide as well. I did not know that. But Marvel Age is a real nostalgia kick, says Chris. That is true.
He had a great sense of humor. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I think I remember, he would draw these cartoons with the calendar in Marvel Age. I mean, it's been a long time since I've read Marvel Age, but those were the highlights of reading those.
Well, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I always, and back in the day, I didn't know who the heck Hembeck was. I mean, I'm like, who's this? I don't want to say a hack. Who is this guy that they've got drawing, these weird little things, and why, and it as a kid, I'm saying that as a child, not as an adult, but I always thought it was funny, and it was like, that's so interesting for them to be putting Hembeck's characters out there like that, because it's not like drawing the character like you would want them to be done, and as a parody, no. So I've always loved Hembeck's work, but there, mission accomplished, and a piece by Rick as well. So congratulations to all. So Larry, we got to have you back on, because like I say, man, people join the show, the channel because of you tonight. We got a couple tips. So I've got next time we're together, I don't know what if you want to get a coffee or a beer, whatever you want. It's on me because you earned it this evening.
I appreciate it. And, I'm looking forward to the, March 21st when me, you, Jason, and also Tatiana will be joining us and talking about the top X-Men artists.
I'm really looking forward to that one as well. I know it's going to be a spirited debate. I've actually started taking some notes too. I may have to correct one of my top 5 from my earlier statements, but I'm not decided yet. But but because that was a spur of the moment thing. You guys caught me by surprise I caught myself by surprise by even suggesting that I had a top 5. But yeah, it might adjust it just a little bit. But yeah, no, same here, Larry. So again, thank you, and you're more than welcome to be on the show anytime you want to do a top 10 pick. Whenever you feel you have the time to do a top 10 pick again.
Yeah, I'll need a break, but Chris Nor can take it for a few weeks.
All right, that's true. An X-Men battle, says Chris. So yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, Larry. Well, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this. It was your picks were perfect. I mean, you really and you've raised the bar now for those of us who've been doing it for a while, or for anybody who comes after you, because you actually ordered them 1 through 10. So yeah, I'm going to try that next week, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody who's watching right now and staying with us and watching my picks and Bill's picks. This is a great show, and this is fun, and I'm very happy to support your show.
Larry, well, you've been a supporter for a long time because you did the collector conversations many times. You're incredibly knowledgeable, and again, you're welcome anytime. And hopefully, we get to do the X-Men show is a good example of doing an alternative show here rather than just regular talk shows. Having somebody come in and kind of give us a topic and let's just run with it. I think I hope we do more of that throughout the rest of the year. And I can tell you they probably won't be initiated by me because I tend to be really burned out just getting these. This show takes all day to kind of pull together. I know it seems like it just happens, but it really takes a while to to do the little video editings that we do or pull together the clips and stuff. So I put a lot of effort into pulling. Oh, hey, and look at that!
Yeah.
Now it's 2 coffees or 2 beers now, thanks to Scott. So no, that's Scott. We should have Scott on sometime to do some top 10 picks as well, if he could fit it into his schedule. But yeah. So back to that though. I hope we do more X-Men style conversations. I think that it'll just make the show the channel be a bit more. I don't know. It'll have a little bit more variety. I mean, I don't want everything to stay predictable. And so coming up with cool topics like that are good to debate, are going to cause, it's going to be spirited. And and Tatiana adding her is going to make it really interesting as well. So, cause I don't know what she's going to, I didn't even know Tatiana liked X-Men, to be honest.
I didn't either. But then it came up, Jason proposed the idea. I was like, yes, let's do it. I yes, welcome Tatiana. So
all right, awesome. Well, thanks again, Larry. I don't even know if I've got anything else I think my whole list has actually been checked off, believe it or not. I actually got through everything. So well, we can end the show together, Larry. See, it did go past 2 hours, as it does sometimes. See, Wes says we got to do the top 5 Spidey artists sometime. Now that could get ugly for a lot of people,
especially bring Berkey in it. Yeah.
Well, he would just be Vermita. Well, but he actually would be able to tell you his top 5 though. I mean, he's at least very opinionated like that. So yeah, that would be a fun show too. Well, we'll see how the X-Men one goes, and then we'll figure out if it goes well. We'll pick another title or series and do another debate. So sorry, just reading Steve's chat there, but all right, well, I'm going to call it a night, Larry, and everybody in the audience, thank you for staying with us for so long. It's time to turn out the lights here, and one more day until the weekend. So look for my weekly update tomorrow at that I've got to somehow manage to get written before I do the Mike Zek thing at 1 p.m. with Chuck Costas. But for those of you who can actually hop onto YouTube or Facebook and watch that, please do. If not, catch it later, because the show looks pretty impressive. I mean, if you know Chuck's collection, you've seen a lot of the work before, but it's always nice, for something like this where it was actually put into the Ringling Institute of Art. I mean, I think it's great exposing. I mean, I don't, I didn't even know about original art in comics until I was out of art college. So here's a college that organized a ZEC exhibit for their students, and in particular, to expose them to illustration/comic book artwork by one of the greats. So we're going to get to see the setup from inside the museum tomorrow and talk with Chuck about the pieces and why he chose the pieces that he did for the exhibit. And it's going to be a good time.
It probably won't have the Secret Wars 8 page, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of
No.
great art.
No, it won't. It will not. And but no, I don't think. Well, I don't think he has. Well, he must have put some Secret Wars in there. I can't imagine that it isn't represented. But we'll find out tomorrow, because I don't even know the full list of stuff that's in that show. But he was going to go through a lot of it with me. So
If they have the Secret Wars #1 cover, I probably will have to fly down there.
Well, this is the last weekend of the show, apparently.
Oh, really?
I didn't even hear about it till a month ago, and apparently it's been down there for about 5 months. So, and I'm kicking myself. There's actually an Alex Ross exhibit in Kent, Ohio, that ends this weekend as well, that I'm not going to get to see it. It was on my to-do list, but Kent's about an hour. Oh, no, it's not even in Kent. It's in, well, maybe it is in Kent, but at any rate, it's even further than going to Berkey's. It's like twice the distance. So I never made it down there. But again, it's just great to see, comic artists being represented in these gallery settings, just like going to see the Marvel exhibit for me that last weekend. It's just neat. It seems we haven't seen enough of this, and I think in the years to come we're going to start seeing this more and more. So I think it's great, exposing the public. When I went to the Marvel exhibit, I mean, there were a lot of teenage to say 12-year-old kids in there that were actually looking at the art. I was a little surprised. They weren't just running from the Iron Man costume to the Black Panther statue. They were actually, maybe they weren't reading all the documentation that went along with the artwork, but they were at least looking at it. I think that's it's an awesome thing that we're getting to see these days.
Did you have enough time to see everything? It's a huge exhibit.
I did. I saw most of it because we were able to. We came in at the end of the last group that they were letting in there, and then we were able to stay for about 2.5 hours, pretty much after the show was closed. So we got to see a lot, and Ben Saunders got to talk a lot about which pieces were picked, and obviously there's a lot of art in there from Eric Roberts and some from Dave Mandel. Albert Moy was pretty well represented in there. Right. Of course, Jim Halperin had several pieces in there. So it was a pretty darn amazing. Hans, his fantastic 440 cover. The list goes on and on. Will Gabrielle and the burn
X-Men.
pages that he had. Yeah. Oh yeah. He had some burn X-Men. I think there was an FF page as well from Will's collection was there. So yeah, it was great to see that stuff up close, and having Dinesh be tagging along and talking about the pieces as well was it was great to be a fly on the wall. I just had to sit there and listen to Ben, Berkey, and Dinesh talking about all these pieces together, and it was a very cool experience. So, all right. Well, I'm calling it a night. Mr. Easy Go Lucky said another fine show. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and same to Nick as well. Don't forget about Nick's show tomorrow at 7 to 8 o'clock, and hit the like button, as Nick just said, on your way out the door tonight. So thanks again, Larry, and we'll see you all